And when it comes to debit cards and credit cards, it is understandable why our kids don't know the difference. But it is important for us to pause, take a step back, and educate them on all these nuances, right? You should focus first on credit cards with your kids because it's, of course, one of the most common types of credit. And it's one of those things that your child sees you and I used most often on a daily basis. Now, here's what you want to make sure your child understands: a credit card works like a loan, but instead of getting cash, you get the line of credit, kind of like an IOU. And just like when their classmate borrows their favorite pen or wants to use their headphones for the next class period, when your friend borrows something, you have to pay it back. You want it back. And that's how credit works in an easy way that you can explain it to your child. Oftentimes, when you don't pay it back, there's a penalty, right? So the penalty in this case, of course, is interest. One important element when you talk about credit cards is it's important to teach your kids about the importance of paying off their credit card balances in full every month. It goes right in alignment with our values of honoring your obligations, right? Otherwise, you could get stuck with a lot of debt and paying back more than you actually borrowed when you factor in interest rates. So, what's the difference between a debit card and a credit card? A debit card lets you spend only the money you have in your account, while a credit card allows you to borrow money that you have to pay back with interest. Now, let's talk about a credit card. A credit card allows you to buy money, to make purchases, and pay it later. When you use a credit card, the money is not deducted from your account right away. Instead, you receive a bill at the end of the month with the total amount that you owe. It's important to teach your children that when they use a credit card, they are borrowing money. It's like taking out a loan and they have to pay it back with interest. This means that if they don't pay their balance in full each month, they will end up paying more money because of interest charges. You can even go further and explain if they still don't pay their credit card balance based on the due date, or if it's late, then they get hit with late fees and other penalty charges from credit card companies. Building and establishing a strong credit record is a critical part of building a solid financial foundation. And so, one of the more frequently asked questions that I get from parents is, Holly, how can my teen or young adult start building credit now? There are actually several ways that you can help your teen establish credit, but one of the easiest ways is to start by opening a secured credit card for your teen or young adult. A secured credit card is backed by a cash deposit, which means the lender is taking on less risk. And so, using a secured credit card responsibly can help your child establish a credit history and start establishing that favorable credit score that we want to see over time. The other popular way I've seen parents help is by allowing your child to become an authorized user on your credit card account. Now, allowing them to be an authorized user on your account can help them benefit from your established credit history, right? But this only works as long as you are making payments on time and not carrying too much debt. And so, what if you're one of those parents who doesn't have good credit? Good question. Well, if that's the case, I don't recommend this method. But you can work with a money coach like me, a financial expert, to help your team create a budget and develop a plan tailored to them to start using credit responsibly. And the important piece in all of this is just to make sure your team understands the components of a credit score and what really drives the score up or down.